OKKO. GG's, I'm Dylan.
This is Cameron.
And we have a special guest today for our I said we're not going to timestamp things. But we're going to do it this time. So, Rashard.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for coming on the show, man.
Appreciate you guys for having me.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So, Cameron, you know Rashard a little better than me, and would you tell our lovely people a little bit about Rashard, and then I'll pass it to you so you can talk about yourself. I don't know why I did it that way, but you know.
I was gonna say let's go Rashard first, and then we'll go.
Let me tell you how I met Cam. You know what I'm saying? He comes to a bi-weekly out of nowhere. And then
Dragon Slayer, right?
Yep, Dragon Slayer bi-weekly. You know, okay, we got a new face. You know what I'm saying? This is like, what, about the middle of the lifetime for Street Fighter?
Oh, no, this was like first year of Street Fighter. No, second season, because that's when Balrog came out.
Yeah, second season, you know what I'm saying? Then I think you were beating people down, but didn't catch our eye till you beat Enforcer handily. We was like, ooh, Jason.
Oh, yeah, I 3-0'd Enforcer.
You know what I'm saying? Because he's pretty much, you know what I'm saying?
That's been our dude. Yeah.
He's the guard. Even though he doesn't really like the new Street Fighters, he's more of the Super Turbo.
Insane at Super Turbo, though.
Definitely. But yes, my name is Rashard. I've been in the Oklahoma scene, what is it, since April, I give you the date, April 25th, 2015, because that was MKX.
MKX. I was going to ask if that was MKX.
That's why I remember the date so clearly. And you know, we made the mistake our first event of running one event instead of doing a smorgasbord. But we had about 28 people that came, you know what I'm saying?
MKX was huge.
Yeah, we felt that adrenaline and kept running with it.
Was that place out in Owasso?
No. So this one's the YMCA on the north side of Tulsa.
I live right by there.
Right.
I know exactly where it is.
Oh, that's cool. Nice. Okay.
So we had Subway sponsor the event. So we had sandwiches.
Tight. What?
Yeah. So
that's great.
MKX was popping too.
And I'll tell the truth, like, we really came in expecting to do the sports games, right? But the difference between the FGC and sports games, like, most people get beat in Madden, 2K get blown out. Oh, I'm done. I'm not coming back till next year. I'm just going to play my friends. But, you know, somebody get 0-2, 0-3 in the FGC. Oh, why did I get beat? I need to learn that. Hey, the dude beat me. Come on. Let me get some games
Let's get some more games in.
Right. You know, and so that was, like, the retention for FGC and just the energy is what made me stick. Because, I mean, naturally, I'm not even a fighting game player, but I've been learning over the years because I've been dealing with it.
Yeah, no, you've been, and that's the thing, too. Like, with most, like, with you, I've dealt with you the most over, you know, our other TOs. And it's always been fun when you're around. Like, it's easy. That's why I've always shown up. It's like, y'all care about the players, care about the, you know, what's going on. You usually have a good setup in a venue, and we get to roll in and go. And, like, yeah, I think most tournaments that I've gone to has either been you or Ricky, and the only Ricky ones, in, you know, nothing against it, is super big, because it's hard to make it to Red Dirt Rumble when you were living in Tulsa, but now I can make it to Red Dirt Rumble, but I don't know if Red Dirt Rumble is even happening anymore.
Are those the ones at Norman? And
yeah.
Okay. Those are the only ones that I've been to. But the last one I went to was huge.
Right.
But that was before, like, COVID and everything. And, like, you walk in and it's just, like, a huge, like, there's, like, tons of vendors, and then, like, the whole, like, one whole giant area was smash. What was hilarious is the last time I went to, oh, this is so brutal. The last time I went to a Red Dirt, I showed up and I was, like, trying to find Cameron, because every time he would, like, do tournaments here, I would always go just to, like, see what's up. And Cameron shows up, and, like, the first opponent Cameron has is this kid. Dude, it was rough.
This was super big.
Dude, it was this little kid, and he had like an arcade stick, and his mom and dad were like next to him, and they were just like, oh, I hope you do so good. And then Cameron was just like, get shit on. And, like, dude, just, like, ended this kid's... Oh, God. I felt so bad. I was like, bro, you're going to do him dirty like that?
I mean, you can't... You have to.
I mean, you don't.
It's the reality of... No, you do. It's the... I mean, fighting games are pretty, like... To me, it's always been an analogy of, like, reality. Like, you know, like...
Okay.
You put in work, and you go 1v1. Like, I've always looked at kind of... Like, it's not the same, but, like, a UFC fight. Whoever puts in the more work usually comes out with the W.
Right.
And I'm not going to hold back. There's no point.
It was hilarious. He
to
looked
him.
so sad.
Because of my opponent, I'm a lesson
Well,
myself.
and then the another thing about that was the super loaded Super Bit Wars we had. We had Jan, African, Toy, Nigel was becoming a monster. And, like, I've told him, like, African, Toy, and Nigel came super close to making Capcom Pro Cup a few times.
Right. In the last couple of years.
Yeah, I mean, they put in a lot of work. And so, like, me, I grinded for that. And I almost made it to top 8. And I got beat out by Jan and African. And then after that, like, and we were talking about the resilience, is like, I was like, let's run more games.
Right.
And I 10-5'd African, and I was like, well, this is how it goes.
Yeah. I could take home.
I took something home.
Right.
But then he, like, most recently, Cheaps was really good. The Colleen player was really good.
Just North Texas was good.
Nice.
DFW, man.
Yeah. They had that stronghold for so long.
They're strong. Really strong. And so they've always been kind of my rival. But that's the thing. It's always like I want to come back and play.
Right.
And then obviously with COVID happening, that's when I fell off. I was like,
you want to be an online warrior?
I couldn't do it. I could not do it. Like, being an online warrior and being at home, like, don't get me wrong, I love playing online, but I can't play Street Fighter Online for more than 2 or 3 hours. Like, it really, for me, it is the competition at a tournament. Like, it's just different. Like, you sit down, it's a different feeling, it's a different environment, and I feel like I've always done really well in that environment.
Right.
Just because of, like, sports over the years, being under pressure, and that's why, like, I couldn't do online stuff. It just wasn't the same environment for me.
I mean, it was the same issue as a TO, you know what I'm saying? If it was a 16-man bracket in person compared to online, it's so many problems you're going to run into online, even though, the systems are unlimited because you have people playing in the background. But it's more effort and more energy to do online than it is to run them same on 4 setups in person. Yes.
Dang. Because you got to keep everyone in check. You got them on the Discord.
You got to have a TO running the match in the live. You got to have somebody in the Discord lining them up.
You got your commentators too.
Right, all of that.
There's just so much that can go wrong. And then, like, there's sometimes you don't even know that something's going wrong too, unless like somebody's like, yo, stream's down or something like that, and then you have to scramble to figure out what's going on. And I don't know. I don't really like playing people online unless it's like Fightcade now. Like, because
true Fightcade.
After I got that stick, I was like, well, I'm gonna see what's up with Fightcade, and then I was like, oh, this is tight. Like, just like everyone's in chat, like talking shit or like helping people, and I just hang out on Third Strike for hours at a time and just hang out and play one of the worst characters in the game, apparently.
My boy
but
Jason,
I really like him.
and Force, he lives on Fightcade, so
yeah. Oh, he plays Fightcade.
That's how he trains up. You know what I'm saying?
If you ever want to learn Super Turbo 2, he's the guy.
Yeah, I mean, the ones that I play the most. The whole reason why I wanted to do the show is I bought Street Fighter 30th anniversary on Switch and then I built that little like arcade machine, and then I was like, man, I really want to like talk about fighting games a lot.
And then the thing is too, you finally had like a click in your mind with like, I don't have to be good at these games to enjoy them.
Yeah, well, what's funny is Multiverses is what did that for me.
Oh yeah,
because I loved Smash. It's the only tournament I've ever won, and I'm gonna die on that fucking hill.
High school tournament.
Yeah.
Win's a win.
Yeah, exactly. A dub's a dub. I'll take all my locals.
And like when I found out that I could play as Finn in a fighting game, I was like, oh, it's on, dude. Are you serious? And then Cameron and I played it a ton. And there would be nights where we just like would shit on people, and it was just like, sorry y'all. And then there'd be nights where it's just couldn't get a single dub, but it was fun because I was just like, well, I get to play with Cameron. I get to actually like enjoy the characters, because the hardest thing I had with Street Fighter for a long time is I just thought everybody in MK was way cooler. I was just like, who, like, dude, I don't like. There's so much blood. This looks cool. Like I grew up watching the shitty movies all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Like I would, I was breaking my neck to go to the like movie rental.
MK1 and 2
spot down the street to get Mortal Kombat again. Yeah.
MK1 held up. MK2.
I don't even care. I loved it. I love Annihilation.
It's so good in a bad way.
Oh, absolutely.
I like how they killed 2 different ninjas or 3 different ninjas, and they used the same animation of them going into the flame every single time.
Yeah. But dude, they had the cyborgs in the second one, and I was like, bro, like you just see Jax like throwing them through glass and shit, and I was like, this is the most 90s early 2000s shit on the planet.
Right. They tried to squeeze in as many characters as they could, and that was like a fan favorite, besides the dialogue and everything else that came with it.
That was cool.
Besides the movie that sucked, all the characters were awesome.
Right.
The character choices.
Yeah.
For sure. But so back to TOing. Do you have like a nightmare story about TOing?
Oh, this
man, I'm gonna tell you, like every event I did, King the Sticks, you know what I'm saying, Summer Madness, which is no longer here. Did you go to the last Summer Madness? The sweatshop when we did 5v5 against Arkansas?
No.
Anyway, you had to be there.
I was there because I was in it.
Right, so that one.
So you had to have been.
That was when we did that was like an 85-degree room, right? And we couldn't get the PS.
The air wasn't working, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, man.
Because the air was working, felt like shouldn't have paid the full price.
Right.
Then again, agree with the price. The only thing that we had going on was this ice cold water they kept bringing out. Y'all probably noticed, but whenever it was an issue with the price in the room, water stopped coming out.
Yep.
So, it was that Super Bit Wars, KIT, KITX, Texas Showdown. Every tournament I ever worked through in the background, it's always fires being put out.
Yeah.
The trick with TO in this, the people who paid to be there, y'all never know about it.
Yeah, dude.
The biggest thing y'all will see is if like somebody controller cut on doing a stream or something and messes everything up. It'll be some stuff going on. It'll be some people who are really upset, and you just got to comment. Moving on.
Yeah.
The bracket's rigged.
That's the bigger tournaments. I think, especially in a smaller tournament, we could only space you out so far. And when we space you out perfectly, if y'all both lose in the same round, y'all fighting each other and losing.
That's what happened in that small thing we did recently. Like everyone showed up was a killer.
Right.
So it's like, well, the bracket's gonna be hard regardless. Like so.
Jason always laugh on his breath like, well, to beat a man, you got to beat the man eventually. So go on, get him in the first round, basically.
Dude, event coordinating, I know that it's just like not really dumbing down what you're doing.
Oh, you have some experience.
But event coordinating can be just ass because you have to be like because. You set the whole thing up.
It's on you.
You set the whole thing up. You have the venue. You have all the invites sent. You know how many people are going to be there. You have the whole bracket set up. You have everything set up, and you're like, you spent so much time, and then come the day, and you're like, all right, how many things are going to fuck up? Because I know that something's fucking up. Like. Right. Always, you like being event coordinator is just like being like somebody running around with a fire, with a fire extinguisher the entire time.
I say it's more like being like Batman. You know what I'm saying? He got something in his utility
belt for everybody.
And that's the thing too. That's one thing.
That's a way better way to.
Well, and that's the thing about our tournaments too is they've always like even if it looked like it was going sideways, like I think it was Brent that was always around, the guy with the long hair and the beard. Like he was always helping out.
Brett.
He kept everything in check.
Brett's solid, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he was awesome, dude. He did not put up with any
nonsense. I don't care if I know you're getting DQ'd if you're not here on time.
Bye.
That's cool. I don't know. I love event coordinating though. It's so much fun. Especially when there is a problem and then you have your utility belt and you're just like, boom, I already know. It's already done. We're already good.
Right.
So yeah.
And that's why as like I'm sorry to cut you off. Good. As a player, I've always just like, listen, just communicate, we're good. Like I don't care how long I have to wait, I just need to know.
Yeah.
Right. And that's always happened, and that's why I keep coming back. It's just like it's always been a good time.
Communication is key in anything that you do. Especially when there's more than one person involved. Like communication has to be like number one.
And you as a player have to do it too. Like a lot of players don't, and
especially the big tournaments like pet peeve. Like even if you know us, like stay. You're running pools at like KIT. We're running pools.
Pools are no
Stay
joke.
there until you're out your pool or you're out the tournament. I have people disappear. Go get smoke breaks. Don't say nothing. and we're sitting here yelling your name. So
yeah.
It's lucky, like, if I know you, you're a pro player and I seen you. But for those people who are like out for the first time, stay right by your TO. You know what I'm saying? Till you build rapport. I have people I don't know come to me, hey, this is my name. I'm going to the bathroom. Be right back.
Yeah.
Cool. Mental note.
Yeah.
Probably gonna forget your name, but I seen your face.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then I won't skip you when it comes down to the games.
Mm-hmm.
The number, like, if you don't show up to your pool on time, it's a 30-minute window at bigger tournaments. You miss that first 30 minutes. You're in losers. Yeah. Don't be upset with your TO because you didn't show up on time.
You're about to make that run back in losers.
Right. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? Especially after we get so far and so many games played, I can't take back the action I got made. Yeah. My apologies. Move on, but I gave you 30 minutes and I called your name out 12 times asking fellas. Yeah. I got,
It's like, exactly. I got stuff I got to do too.
And that's the thing too, as always a person that needs to go use the restroom or smoke break, I tell like 4 or 5 people, I'm like, hey.
Have somebody designated there for you.
Yeah, exactly. I've even told my opponent, and they were like, yeah, I'll wait. Like, no big deal.
They tried to call the game, he went to the bathroom.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just like, it's just simple communication, but.
So do you, I don't know. Do you ever ask people for numbers just in case so you can text people?
I don't go that far.
I guess, so
let's say I'm doing Tekken brackets and it's in 2-hour waves. I got 4 waves. I'm running 2 brackets at the same time for 2 hours going back and forth. The first 30 to 45 minutes take forever because you got to still wait for people to come check in.
A roll call.
Right.
Then you get to the end and it rolls. So I don't have time to babysit. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
You have all the information. Y'all are many. I am one. Come check in with me.
Right.
I could just write it down on a piece of paper. To me, as much money as you paid, as far as you drove, them 2 hours for your game, stay dedicated to that area. Like, it's nothing. Sit there and tweet because the pros do it. That's what I'm saying. Punk could sit there by himself, not hanging out with nobody when we're at Texas Showdown and just waited for his name to get called. So if I have a professional who does this for a living, you know what I'm saying, who's selfless enough to just stay there so we don't have to go yell for him. But, even if he disappeared, I yell Punk, it's an echo. Punk, because he's well known. They're going to get him over there.
Yeah.
But he does real good about staying in the area until he either gets out of pool or get put out of pool.
Yeah.
And I think that's just something, it's a lot of new players. We just got to teach, like, the courtesy to your TO.
It's such a weird experience, though. Like, I will say, as, like, for, like, new players, because I haven't done many tournaments, but the first one I ever did was Mortal Kombat, like MKX, and this was years and years ago. But it was so weird, and we were like in such a small room too, because I think it was the Dragon. What was it called?
It wasn't Dragon Slayer. It was a place on Owasso.
That wasn't 6 Killers, was it?
It was 6 Killers.
Yes. So you came to that real big tournament?
Yeah.
Texas came up deep.
Yeah, that's when I realized I needed to play on a monitor.
You said the lag and everything.
Bro, I would have actually done really well, but I couldn't get my Kung Lao combos because, like, I was on a monitor and I've been playing on, like, a 32-inch TV, and I was like, oh.
It's totally different.
No.
I hate that so much. As silly as it is, it's like, bro, I bought this TV to play games on, and then you go to play fighting games, and it's just like, no, you want like a small, like, and I'm just like, no, I don't. No, I don't want a tiny monitor. But whatever, I guess so. I'll play The Witcher on my TV.
Ricky low-key saved us from that first event I was telling you about in 2015 because we were about to use TVs. And he was like, nah, because, we were new, so Ricky jumped in the bus like, hey, bro, what y'all got going on? What y'all plan to use? Oh, nah, y'all need to do this. Yeah. So even, like, 2 or 3 weeks out from the tournament, we had brought, like, the Asus monitors that were current. I think that was the 238s at the time, so we had got, like, 4 or 5 of those.
Yeah, the Asus monitors,
yeah. Dumbed it down. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? Even for that, I give gratitude to Ricky because we would have been off to a rough start with some of the players. Some people don't care, but the creme de la creme, they care about all of that.
Yeah.
It's a big deal.
Yeah. Now I only play on this, which is...
You understood, yeah.
Yeah, no, I plug my fight stick into a tiny little laptop, and I'm just like...
And even going back to 6 Killers real quick, you notice we only did 1 tournament there, right?
Yeah.
It was a bunch of places we only did 1 tournament because, we'll go try to get the place, get their slowest day, and then, so we can work around them so they're not losing any money. They don't know what's going on, and then you guys come show out the numbers. And then even before it's over, it's like, so next time, we're looking at this cut. And I was like, are you going to help put it on any of the pop bonus money, any of this stuff, advertising?
They're trying to pocket it,
we got to go, fam.
Yeah, sorry, dude. Like the only way you're getting numbers is if like they're coming through with the game being kind of centered around the players.
Right.
And that's always important.
But, that's why recently, with Dragon Slayers and other venues, like, they were selfless. They were kind of for the scene.
Well, they knew, like, I mean, they had, like, $1, $2 candy bars in there. Like, they knew that bringing people in was going to give them an opportunity to market other things.
Yeah,
definitely.
And that's just business.
Yeah,
you know. And if you like, that's crazy that Six Killer didn't even think about it that way.
0, but if I bring them to you, sell something else.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that just blows my mind. Like, if you were in a sense of like, well, I mean, why am I asking for a bigger cut after the fact that I see what these dudes can do? Like, that wouldn't be fair to y'all.
No, you're like, hey, you should come through again,
it's like
and then know that you have stuff to like, just bring shit to sell people. Have snacks there, have drinks there, have food. Like, dude, I don't know.
They wouldn't have survived around 2 anyway, because the way it was built, we were already hanging out the door for that. But it was just a good atmosphere.
It was a good atmosphere.
I remember there was people in the parking lot in like vans, and I was like, damn,
it was cold,
y'all.
right? It was a little cold.
No, they had setups in their vans, and I was just
playing.
like, this is bananas.
Right.
Like, damn.
It felt like being at like an old venue, like going to a concert as a kid.
Yeah,
that was the vibes I got.
That's my background. It's like, setting up events like that and movie stuff. But yeah, like, it just felt like being at a show.
Felt like a midnight release.
Yeah, everybody had, like, every band had their own van, and they hung out and played until their set. It was so fun. It was so cool. But so what's next for you then?
I mean, we time stamped it, so by the time this comes out, I will be in Tennessee at KIT. Going down there with Chris from WarGuts. He's bringing 8 setups for Multiverse on the PS5. We'll run the PS4 version.
Really been stepping up, huh?
Most definitely.
I didn't like. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. At first, I was like, "Who's WarGuts?" Like,
that's how it is when everybody comes in.
And I was like, "Are they gonna
that's in
actually
Tulsa?
take off?"
Yeah,
WarGuts?
WarGuts.
Okay,
go check them out. 3322 Southwest Boulevard.
There you go. I'm from Tulsa. It's been a while since I've been, but next time I go, I'll definitely have to check it out.
By your old place or your grandpa's old place.
Oh, west side of Tulsa.
West side.
Nice.
Right south of the Goodwill, like half a mile down south.
Yep.
Oh, Goodwill.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
no
that close.
way. That's wicked close. Yeah, I lived off Skelly, like by that shitty little Bronx.
You know that rib crib? That's where that's our first job.
Oh,
yeah, we were
okay, the one off the highway?
Yeah.
Oh, got you.
That's how I got all this patience.
Oh, yeah.
That's a whole other podcast.
Yeah, no.
Oh, Lord. That's a PTSD place. Every time I see it, I always remember that one dude. I think it was Hank. He had no teeth. You couldn't understand a word he said. All you knew is he wanted a super spud with butter and rice.
Because you couldn't eat
butter and
ribs.
rice, butter and cheese.
Gumming those bones.
Yeah, and then like that Sunday, and he's like, "Here's 50 cents as a tip," and I'm like,
bro, if anybody handed me 50 cents as a tip today, I would just, hey, you need this, bro. I think I'm good. Yeah, I'm not buying 2 gumballs, bro. I'm like, what?
That's actually 1 now. It's 1 gumball.
Inflation.
Like the
Cool. Well, all right, man. Cameron, you got anything else?
Other than like, I'm excited for King of the Sticks.
Right. Oh, that's what I was saying. So KIT this weekend. Chris is going with the setups. I'm going to TO. Have a good time. Advertise a little bit for King of the Sticks coming right after that. It's no rest period. So right after KIT, it's on the King of the Sticks. That's what I'm trying before I get on the road. Finalize the trophies and everything else.
Is this the last KIT?
Yes, it's the last KIT in Tennessee.
And then they're moving to Texas permanently, or they don't know yet?
I mean, the crew still might be doing stuff, but I think as far as the brand, it might be switching to something else.
Oh, okay.
Or going to someone else. So I don't know too many details.
KIT?
Kumite in Tennessee.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Kumite.
Okay.
Battle to the death.
It's always been a big thing. It's actually a really cool tournament, especially for Midwesterners, because they finally, it's an easier way for them to play bigger people.
Right.
Cool.
So they don't have to travel to Cali or to New York and all these big cities,
right.
you know, that cost a lot of money to get there. And yeah, I mean, people ask me all the time, like, why aren't you traveling? Why aren't you doing this stuff? I'm like, I don't got the money. It's
money.
money.
And the time, yeah.
The nice thing, though, about living in Oklahoma is we are so central that, I mean, you can get anywhere in a day. You know what I mean? I mean, I've driven to Chicago, and like it takes a fucking long time, but you can get there in less than a day. Driven to Jacksonville, Florida in 22 hours. I mean, like, you can get there.
That's one of the biggest reasons why we started King of Sticks in Tulsa, because from a driving standpoint, we're 4 hours from Dallas, 4 hours from Kansas City, 4 hours from Little Rock, less than 2 hours away from Oklahoma City, less than 3 hours away from Wichita.
Yeah, dude.
Right in the middle.
Then we have the international airport, but when you land and you get off, you're 20 minutes from where we're going to be at.
Right.
If that. So kind of like it was a centralized mecca, and why we keep pushing and everything. And then the amenities, I would say this, as far as like hotel booking, rooms and everything, for some reason it's cheaper in Tulsa than Oklahoma City. Yeah. And in Oklahoma City, the venues are older, haven't been updated, remodeled, or anything, and they're charging
this
more.
nation's capital, right?
Yeah.
We'll have to find some more places here in the city. From doing what it is that I do, I know that there's some spots that maybe, you know, we can find better places to play. I know there's spots in Edmond that, you know, they mainly do like tabletop stuff. But if I was like, hey, somebody needs an event for, you know, like fighting games, and we're gonna at least be able to fill this whole place up, can you do that on a Wednesday? I don't see anybody being like, nah. Right. You know, I mean,
and that comes down to the cut stuff too, like we were just talking about.
Yeah.
You know, that's the, like you said, pick the day that's slowest for them and show out on that day.
Yeah.
And then they'll have more respect for you.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, there's like, you know, like hotels and stuff around here that always do cons and stuff like that.
Right.
I mean, you know, you're the one that does it. I don't have to tell you this, but you know, like once I started like talking to people about doing like Warhammer tournaments and stuff like that, where it's just like, you know, it's
Dragon
just like,
Slayer does that. So they have like the fighting games, and then they have like what's the game? Magic. Yeah,
Magic the Gathering,
all the card tournaments, Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments. They do D&D nights. Yeah, like they know what's up when it comes to that.
Yeah.
So
there's I gotta remember what his name is, but there's a guy that works for Vanessa House Brewing Company
who's
that
doing
does
the Vanessa House one, because you know him, right?
Because he does Tekken.
You're talking about Coop. Coop is the one that's coordinating that. So
Vanessa House does Smash, is what I mean.
Right.
They do Smash on like Mondays.
Have they still been doing it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I like stumbled in on it like a couple weeks ago, and I was like, "Oh shit, what's up?" Yeah, I was just like, I want to go to Vanessa House. Like, I was like waiting for my wife to come pick me up, and there was just like tables set up, and I was like, "Oh shit, y'all are really doing this."
Right. I don't know who's doing the Smash one, but Coop's doing the same thing. He's starting out with Tekken, getting everybody there, but I think it's going to expand to all the games. To where it's gonna be a casual night. You know, the drinks are there. You're able to bring your own food in. It's a whole vibe. Yeah. Normally, if it's a Friday, Saturday, they got the games going. You know what I'm saying? So that's, I think, with the FGC, until we get like Red Dirt Rumble back, that's where it's gonna be.
These like small little Vanessa House. Yeah. And then I would love to try and talk to them about Street Fighter stuff or MK stuff. I mean, we all know what's happening next year. Everyone's excited for Street Fighter 6.
Right. Yeah.
I mean,
that's why I got that stick, man. Because like,
getting ready.
Yeah, because you know, like I've said before.
So
well, I guess technically I haven't really said it that much. But like, I played MK a lot. Like I had MKX, and I was like, this is really cool. I mean, I played MK9 and everything. But when MK11 came out, I was like, I am playing this game. Like, I want to learn how to play this game. And I did, you know, for the most part, I got casually good at the game.
And you did have someone to grind with too, which was Jordan.
Yeah.
Which was cool because I felt like I got two people in, you know, and that was always like a cool feeling, is getting people to actually get in and stick with it.
I would play Cameron if I wanted to just play on extra difficult mode, essentially. And then I played Jordan if I wanted that back and forth, you know, where it's just like, all right, you and I, he was my Ryu kin partner, right? But
Combat League though,
I didn't really fucking care about Combat League. The only reason why I cared about Combat League was to get other skins, because I'm a little skin slut for sure. Yeah. But like, you know, outside of that, I'm like, dude, I'm not here for this, because console gaming, the thing that bothers me the most is like, well, like, you know, you're gonna like wipe the floor with somebody in round 1, and then round 2, oh weird, the fucking internet's bad. Like, bro, come
well, that's an MK thing. That is a total.
It is
MK
also
thing.
100% a Street Fighter thing.
Oh,
it
yeah.
happens all the time.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, oh, I'll play Street Fighter 5 now to get ready for 6. No, I won't. I'm gonna play Fightcade because, like, you know, the netcode is not dog water.
I've never had such a frustrating, infuriating experience was playing Combat League. Like, it's a huge reason I dropped Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Because, like, our scene died, you know? Like, Grayson and Blake are still playing, which is Unimeme and Sugar Nuts. I don't know. McKinney, Daniel McKinney, I don't know, Dannibal Lecter. He had live stuff, and he, those three, when I came into MK11, were, like, the dudes, right? Jersey dropped a lot, or dropped the game most apart, and it was mostly those three dudes. And I was like, cool, this game was a lot of fun to play with them. And then it, like a month and a half, like, I was beating them, right? And I felt really good about it. And then it got to a point where no one was playing that much anymore, and so I had to go to Combat League or something. And dude, there is no amount of preparation, like, other than being a pro, to get ready for it, because I've never practiced so much, like, to stop something. Yeah. And then it did not work, you know. And I'm talking, I was labbing stuff, and I was like, well, you know, this guy can just mash out of it. And, you know, then the game just kind of got dropped by NRS. And
yeah, NRS is like, what's MK11?
Ash never got dropped for some reason.
That makes me so mad. It makes me so mad.
I don't know if you remember the email that they, like, the thing that accidentally got, okay, so someone got a WB email, and at the bottom of it was like, getting ready for a new character, Ash Williams. And he
this guy
never
right
came out. Yeah, so, like, that's where a lot of people had these things, like, they just didn't finish the game, you know, and I think that was just apparent, but it's still a solid game. I'm really glad people still enjoy it, but it's just not for me anymore.
Right. I got you.
Yeah.
Well, I like Guilty Gear. Like, I like Guilty Gear, but, like, I got really bored with it. I'm just a Street Fighter guy. I love a solid neutral. I love, like, confirming things. I like how, you know, you can turn it around, like, just by playing a different neutral or play style. And there's just a lot of ways to play it. But, yeah, I mean, MK, I don't know. I just got triggered immediately.
Yeah, I was very excited for Ash because I liked Leatherface a lot in X, because I'm a giant horror movie dork. So when I heard that Ash was coming out, and I heard the vocal, like, his, they put him in the game. They just didn't put him in the game. There was like, you could see.
Oh yeah, there was audio records of Bruce Campbell.
Yes, and I was so pumped.
He was talking about it too.
And then they were like, "Here's the Joker." I'm like, I'm so sick of the Joker. Well, I don't. Why do we have to keep putting him in every piece of media on the planet? It makes me so mad.
That
Just
Warner
give me
Bros.
Ash.
Content, right?
I don't care. But now Ash is in. Now Ash has, you know, has his own game, and is in Fortnite last week. Technically,
has it?
Yeah.
Who is it in Fortnite at this point?
Dude, I'm not mad at it.
No, I wouldn't be either. It's just it's crazy. Like, you can go from Venom to Goku to Alien to Master Chief to Ash Williams now.
Yeah, dude.
You can just pick a spot.
Yep. And the Star Wars lightsabers.
Yep.
Like,
yeah,
they're pretty cool.
Isn't Ryu, Ken, and Chun-Li in it as well?
Ryu.
I'm pretty sure Chun-Li. It's
Ryu, Chun-Li, and Guile, I think. No, it's either Guile or Cammy.
Gotcha.
I think it's Cammy, because I remember memes with Cammy with a gun.
Gotcha.
And they would be like Cammy's dive kick, and they would have her with the shotgun, because her dive kick was insane.
Yeah.
For a long time on 5. So, yeah, and then Tekken 8's coming out, you know. We got some new games, and that's good. So that's going to be interesting, right? Have you thought about Tekken 8 because it's going to be new gens?
WarGuts already has 8 setups for
PS5. Really?
Yeah, I'm gonna end up with 4.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying?
All right,
So
yeah. Y'all are good.
Yeah. So, and then here to help out any other like organizations that don't have it. You know what I'm saying? Rental service time. So kind of already on that future proof, but as an organizer, like having Tekken, you know, Street Fighter, no matter how good or bad the game is the backbone of the FGC.
Oh,
regardless.
Dude, it doesn't matter.
So,
yeah.
Looking if we have Tekken 8, Street Fighter 6,
maybe an NRS.
Strive still going strong.
Strive is going to be
and
going
NRS
strong.
game, I hope they skip. You know, I don't need any crossovers. Just go ahead and make 12.
Just go ahead and make 12.
And get into it. If we had like those 4 as a foundation to the FGC, it'll be good times for at least 4 to 5 years.
Again, yeah.
Yeah.
Because, like, I mean, we're looking at a pretty, like, I mean, honestly, like, if you're not counting Oklahoma, like, the games have been kept going really strong. Mm-hmm. Like, MK11 proved itself at EVO. Like, I was impressed with EVO. I was like, y'all are playing top tier MK11 now.
Right.
And it's crazy. I wish this game would have got finished, but it's cool that, like, it's still going.
Yeah.
You know, Street Fighter 5 is on a 6-year run. Like, even though, like, and the thing is, they did the same thing as 4. We can run that down. You know, 4 was bad at first, you know, and then, like, Sagat was broken, blah, blah, blah. And then we got to Super Street Fighter 4, and people were like, all right, you know. And it was the same thing with 5. Like, we had 5 CE, and then, you know, now, like, people are saying, like, this is one of the best Street Fighters. And I don't know if that's shilling or not.
Yeah.
I like it, but I'm not going to be like, oh, this is, like, groundbreaking. I just like the game.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, it's really hard because, like, video game companies now, I mean, like, they'll just, I don't know, man, they just put out whatever the fuck they want. And then people will buy it. You know, it sucks because I had to buy Street Fighter. I bought Street Fighter twice, and then the whole reason why I have it now is because it was free. Because I bought it and I was like, oh, awesome, Street Fighter 5, I'm very excited to play this. And then they were like, oh man, here's like 8 people. You play with like 10 people.
Yeah,
we'll give you like some stuff. I'm like, this isn't a game, dude.
The base roster is 16. I think there's 5 seasons, so yeah, there's like 46 characters now.
Yeah, now. But when it was released for $60, it wasn't a game.
Oh man, that game was a nightmare.
Yeah,
and everyone knows that, like, that turned off a lot of people. In Street Fighter 5.
Well, you know, developers can get away with murder now because of updates. So we go back to what, the late 80s, 90s, early 2000s, whatever you made.
Yeah,
you were stuck with that.
Well, that's why there's like 30 Street Fighters.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Because they get to make the next one is the update.
Yeah, exactly.
And the DLC is the new game.
Right.
I mean, it was
But
super...
it's like they felt different. Like, they look different. They all, like, I mean, like, I've got, you know, 12 Street Fighter games
MK
now.
actually did the same thing, because there was MK3 and then Ultimate MK3, and then there was MK Trilogy.
Right.
Trilogy is sick. Like, I don't know. I know Biggs was playing N64 MK. Was that Trilogy?
I think it was Ultimate. I think Ultimate was the standard. I could be wrong, but I believe Ultimate.
I know he was insanely good at that.
And he'll travel for that.
Yeah, he was. Yeah,
that's cool.
He's not. Is he still playing 5 or no? I don't think he. I think he dropped it.
Maybe he might play with it, but I don't think
he was like. Okay, so I got 2 funny stories, or I think this one, because we already talked about the kid. Biggs was like my first rival in Street Fighter 5, and it was pretty well known because, like, the first Super Bit Wars I went to, it was who's the guy that started with the Z? Is it Zendada? He played Geef. He went to the army.
Oh yeah, hold on.
I think it was Zenyatta. No, that's an Overwatch character. I thought it started with the Z. He played Geef. Was really good. Really liked Street Fighter, and Zoda.
Oh, you're talking about Zoda.
Zoda.
Okay.
That's what it was. And he was always really welcoming. He was really good. And then I, like, got to Biggs and Bracket. And I guess it had been well known that Biggs hated this game. And I had never met the dude. And every match, actually every round this dude won, he'd be like, he was like,
were y'all on stream?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I was like in another zone, you know, because it was like my first like regional, and I was doing hot. Like I got 4th or 3rd at that tournament, but man, like he did like things like every time he went around.
Was that one at OU?
No, this was at the casino.
Oh, okay.
The horse play. I remember like
Remington,
the horse tracks, and then I ended up winning the set, and dude didn't shake my hand. Didn't fist bump me.
Yikes.
And just walked away. And the thing is like I understood why he hated 5 after playing it for a minute and getting like my toes into the FGC. I was like, I understand why you hate this game. You are a different kind of player,
right?
Like the things he likes to do. He's a really good fighting game player. Like even that he hated 5, he was still either like he would take me to the final round. Like he was good. And then, you know, over time, he realized I was taking it serious and really good. And now we're, like, friends every time we see each other.
Right.
I just thought that was one of my favorite stories. I was like, man, like, what did I do?
Yeah.
This is my first tournament.
Yeah.
And he was just like that. And I understand why. Like, that game at the beginning was just so bare bones. Like, there was only one V skill, one V trigger. You know, everything was kind of the same. Like, throw a heavy button down, confirm into your V trigger.
Right.
If you're not safe, guess what? You got V trigger.
Yeah.
Like, there were so many things you could cancel to make yourself safe, or you could just like randomly get lucky and crush counter somebody and take 50% of their life.
Yeah.
And they fixed a lot of that. Like, obviously, you got new V skills, new V triggers, and then the big one was V shifting.
Right.
V shift like kind of changed and brought the game back because it gave new defensive options finally, instead of like having to, you know, confirm into things or like play constantly moving back or like having to guess on wake up every single time. You know? Because certain characters in that game, when you get knocked down, like it is a rock paper scissors game. Like you just don't know, like, and you can just completely go downhill. Bison, Laura, Abigail used to do it. There's just characters that like you don't want to be knocked down by, so that's why they kind of gave that option, you know, and only built on it. But what's awesome is they are now completely moving away from that, and because of like the new director, the new head, they got money now. Capcom like bailed themselves out with all the newer games, and so that's why Street Fighter 6 looks so sick. And Maximilian dude made like, I think he had the best point in my, like, this is one of the best opinions or points I've heard about Street Fighter 5 compared to 4, for instance, is if you were to look at those games 10 feet away, you're not going to tell the difference.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's kind of a thing for Street Fighter 2 is like, it kind of seemed like Street Fighter 5 at first was like Street Fighter 4 diet.
Oh, yeah.
Because of all the options
they just
you
stripped
had
everything away. Yeah.
Ultra 4 at the end of it was crazy. And I remember people were like, oh, it's such a good game. It's such a good game. And it's like, well, yes and no. Because near the end of 4, people had figured out the Elena meta. And I don't know if a lot of people remember it. So what would happen with Elena is like you would have to play this insane neutral game with her the whole time, right? And she would get her Ultra and she healed off that Ultra. So people would get her Turtle and like, you know, basically take you down to the final second, use their healing and win.
Cool.
And it was boring.
Yeah.
And the only people that like could counter it were like, you know, only like the top 5 or 6 people, which was like Momochi and Daigo, of course, Mongo, Taquito, but you didn't get to see them every tournament. So there was just tournaments where you're just like literally falling asleep,
right? Because
you know what's going to happen.
Yikes.
But then, you know, 5 came out. First 2 or 3 years were real rocky. What I wish for the life of me, if they just somehow even today probably updated the game to look better, MVCI would have been a thing. It would have been a thing.
Yeah.
It just didn't happen because it looked like poop. It just did. But if you sit down and play the game, it is extremely fun.
Yeah.
But it just, you know, that didn't happen. And so I'm just glad Capcom has turned the corner.
Yeah. Well, all right, man. I don't know. Rashard, do you have anything else?
Or, drop the bomb, King of the Sticks, November 5th, 2022.
I'll be there.
Tulsa, Oklahoma at Tulsa University. You know what I'm saying? And for the podcast, we got a special code going out. It's going to be the OKKO 25 for 25 off.
Sick. Yeah, so use that code for sure. That's awesome. Thanks,
Make sure
man.
to like and subscribe on that one, too.
Yeah, most definitely.
Oh, yeah. Do all the things.
Like, subscribe, retweet.
Yeah.
Tell a friend.
Tell a friend.
Yeah, tell a friend.
Take somebody's phone, do it
If they
yourself.
have questions, hit any of us up.
Yeah. All of the details will be down in the bio to get to our Twitter. Right now, we only have our Twitter and our YouTube because I don't want to fuck with anything else. Honestly,
we're not rushing.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just taking it a day at a time, and we want to make it. We want to make it nice. So yeah, taking it a step at a time. But cool. Well, thanks so much for being on the show. This was so much fun. And yeah, we'll see you. See you at the tournaments, y'all.
Peace.